Good morning, guys. Welcome to SSIS training. And today, let us understand how we can uh, create and build and deploy SSIS packages. Okay. So, when you create a package as a developer, the package is with you. Or create a package, you have to test the package, and the testing is known as unit testing. Okay, so whenever you develop something or whenever you create something, you have to perform a testing called as unit testing. So unit testing is normally done by the developers. Remember this point, okay? So always when you create a code, whether in Java or .NET or SAP or SSIS or SSRS or whatever be the program you write, first you have to test the program. The testing is known as a unit testing. So in this case, you have created a package and you have tested it. So after testing it, what you have to do is that you have to deploy the package to the production environment. So today, let us understand how we can create, build, and deploy packages. Right now, when you take a company, now you have three kinds of environments are available here. One is development environment where developers are there, and you are is going to access some SQL servers where MSB is installed, and the server names are DVSQL 002 and the server name is DVSQL 003. And we have one more department is called the testing department where we have testers, and those guys are using these two servers, and the server names are TSTSQL 009, TSTSQL 008, and production is where the actual data of the company is stored, and these servers are known as our OLTP servers. For example, when you connect to your ICICIbank.com or HDFCbank.com or Citibank.com, when you do the transaction, all the data will be residing in these servers only. So these servers data only we are going to push to the data warehouse. These are the OLTP servers for us. Okay. If you work for any IT company, this you have to understand. You have to work under development environment, and you will be connecting to these two servers, and these two servers will have your sample databases and where you have to work. And the same, the code you have to give it to the testing department, and the testing department will have a testers, and those people are going to deploy your packages or your reports in this environment, in these servers. They're going to test it here, and after they test it, and the same code will be released to the production department. This is where you have database administrators are going to run your packages or execute their packages, and in the production department, and where the actual the deployment is going to be done. Now let us understand, once I create a program or when I develop the program, could be .NET code, SQL Server code, Java code, that code I have to check in a server called source code control server. So Microsoft recommends VSTF. It is known as Visual Studio Team Foundation Server, right? So Visual Studio Team Foundation Server is known as a source code control server. So what is going to happen is that you have to keep your code there. Visual Studio Team Foundation Server. Okay. So foundation server known as VSTF. Okay. So what is this server? Visual Studio Team Foundation server is going to be used to load our the code. The code can be Java code, .NET code. So developer has to create a code and he has to keep the code here. The process is known as a check-in process. So all the code, once you test it, and you have to check in the code. So all your packages, or you have to put your SQL code, all the code you have to keep in here. So developer should not send the code via emails to the testing department. Understand this, because every company will have a source code code control server. This server is going to be used to keep the code. So this is simply known as a code banking servers. So when you have a blood bank is going to be used to store your blood. So you have a database, it is going to store your data. So, but when I develop a code, that code, how do I share to the code? Now, Microsoft recommends Visual Studio Team Foundation Server. All your code could be .NET code, SQL code, or SSRS code, SSIS code. You have to check in here. And from this source code control server only, the tester has to download the code and they have to install this code here and they have to run, as per your deployment guides. And once they test and everything, and once everything is tested thoroughly, and after that, the production department people like DBAs have to take the code from the VSTF and they have to deploy in the original servers. Once the code is deployed here, either the DBA team is going to do, or you may have one more team called building team will be there. They are going to deploy the code here. So whatever it is, but the code is centrally available in a VSTF. So that you have to remember. So developer should not send the code to the tester via emails, via attachments. That is not at all, reasonable thing that you have to do it. So in interviews, people would ask, do you have any exposure to work with VSTF? You have to say yes, because normally VSTF is simply some kind of a, web application. You should be able to browse your code and you should be able to attach your codes, right? It is very simple. Web application. Using that, you should be able to check in your code. And the testing department, production department, or other department also will access this VSTF to download their codes and they have to deploy the codes in various environments. Clear? So this you have to understand, and understand that the development environment will have the same kind of a database which production has. Production means the original data resides. When you go to the ICICIbank.com or whenever you buy any product from Amazon.com, Amazon.com will have a server and where your sales data is getting stored. So those servers are called production servers, and for us these are called OLTP servers. Clear? But if they have a table called product table, and if they have 1,000 columns in that, and testing department also same kind of a database, the database name is Amazon, and here also we have Amazon database, and here also we have a product table, and here also we have a product table. The schema of development environment, testing environment, or production environment will be having same column structure, same table names, but we won't be having actual data as the production department is having. So only we'll be having some sample data. So always we'll be working on the same schema, but the data is not the original data. Here we will be having a less data, but some kind of a sample data will be available here. So based on that, we have to create our packages and create our SSRS reports and all of them, and we have to test it here. The testing is done by us. The first testing is done by us. That testing is known as a unit testing. So remaining system integration testing, performance testing, then you have regression testing, then you have UAT. All of them will be taken care by the testers. Okay, so developer will perform a testing known as a unit testing. So this is what we have to understand. Now, today let's understand how we can create a SSIS package and how we have to deploy those packages to the different environments like testing environment and production environment. So what are the steps as a developer you should do? Let us understand. Now, so you have to create SSIS package and test it. Then you have to implement logging in SSIS. To implement the logging, we have, SSIS menu, you can go and implement logging. And you can also use event handlers to implement customized logging. And the third point is that build and upload the code to VSTF, the whatever the packages you have developed, the code, the files you have to deploy. And you also will have ispac file that needs to be uploaded to VSTF. The path of ispac file will be this. and provide a deployment guide. So whenever you buy any mobile phone or any gadget, what happens is that you will have a deployment guide will be given. So as a user, you should be able to read that and understand how we can make it works. Like that, you can can understand how to install these SSIS packages in different environments. Clear? As a developer, you have to create a package, you have to implement logging, and all of them are important. Why logging is important, let us understand. So, normally when you give a create a package, now whenever the package is getting failed, now if there is no logging is happening, and as a DBA, because I would be running those packages in production environment, I don't have a clue where the issue is. When you have, you know, when you implement a logging, automatically you will come to know that logs which are available as part of SSIS, and you should read the errors there so that you can either you may troubleshoot if the error is very simple error. For example, there is a permission issue that a DBA can do that. But if there is that data issue or some kind of a coding issue, that developer has to do that. Okay, so you have to know to implement how to provide a log whenever you create a package or text files, XML files, SQL Server Profiler, and it is a runtime logging feature. So it is very, very important. So whenever you deploy or whenever you create a package, it is important that you have to implement logging. Clear? So how we can implement logging? What are the options we have? That's what I had just given you right away. So Windows Event Viewer where you can log, text file where you should be able to use this as a logging file, XML file, SQL Server Profiler, or you may use any customized logging also. Okay, so logins are very, very important. If SSIS package is getting failed or SSIS package is running smoothly or not, when you have a log file, the people can access that and they can see the issues with the packages. Clear? So you have to implement a logging before deploying the package. And the third one, you have to build and upload the code. So let me give a demo on this. Now, let me take a new project. Let me open the project here. Okay. So now go to file, a new project. So let me choose integration services. Let me take a SSIS project. Okay. So I'm taking a project now. It is under the demo. So this is where I'm going to store my project. Click on OK. And I have created a project now. And go to Solution Explorer. And I create a package. So the package name is load employee data. Okay, so some package name I have given, and as usual, I go to the control flow, drag and drop one data flow task, and double click on this, and let me take, say, let me go here and drag and drop one flat file source, and I have some data in the flat file source, and double click on this, and connect to the flat file which is there already in my D drive or E drive or some shared folder. So the name of the source is flat file source and browse. And I have some data here and let me go, sorry, let me go here. I mean, so I have some source data. Let me take employee table and go to preview. I have some data. So this is my data and click on this. So I have some wrong values also, but let it be there as of now. So I wanted to just take this file and simply doing some kind of a sorting transformation. Very simple thing. Let me use it. So take this data and connect this file. And sort is a blocking transformation. So I wanted to sort the data based on name. So say descending order, and remove duplicates if you have something, otherwise that will be there. So I'm just sorting the data and go here, and I am planning to move this data to the destination table. So double click on this. So let me go to company database, and I am moving this data there. And this is the table name employee underscore destination. Okay. So this is the table name already we have, I think, in this database. Now let me create employee. So destination. Okay. So create this table. So mapping is important. Already we have done this. Clear? So this is where you have the target and this data you're able to get it. Now save and execute the package. Okay. The step number one is done. What is the step number one we're going to know? The step number one, I had created SSIS package. Very simple package I'm able to create. Now the 8 rows I have, I'm able to send those rows. So let me go here and go to my company database. I'll say select start from employee underscore destination. Okay. So this is the file name I'm planning to, read now. So I have some data here. You're able to store the data. Forget about the right data, wrong data, but I have some data here. Clear? So I have some data I'm able to load, so it's working fine. So once you test it, it is working fine here. So what I'm planning to do, let me implement a logging. If something goes wrong here, I have to, implement a logging. For example, logging is just like a black box in the flight. For example, if something goes wrong in the flight, the people can see the black box and what was the issue with the black box, the what was the issue with the flight and everything people can analyze it. So we go to the SSIS menu. Here we have a facility called logging. So click on this. And when you go there and you have to check on this, and you have lots of things you can use. So could be a text file or could be a SQL server and could be a SQL Server profiler or Windows event log and XML files. These are things in which you have to provide a login. So let me choose Windows event viewer, and Windows event viewer means it is a centralized logging facility given by Microsoft. So how to go to Windows event log, I'll tell you, but I'm going to, provide this as a my logging folder. So check on this, click on this. So again, you have to check. So name is, this one, and you have to simply go here and, implement the logging. So to go to Windows event viewer, go to run, and here you have to say event VWR. Okay. So press enter. So what has happened? So it is go to start run. So event VWR. Okay. So how to go to Windows event viewers? So Windows event viewer. What is Windows event viewer? It is a centralized folder to store your logs. Okay. It is there when you install the Windows operating system. Go to run and you have to type event viewer, right? VWR. Then you have to say press enter. Okay. Then you have to expand the Windows logs and click on application. Okay. So I have already some logs are available here, and let me go, let me uh, clear log and clear this. Okay. So Windows logs where, you can, also use this as your folder to implement your logging facilities and everything. So let me use this. So I'll go here. I'm going to use that. And the second one is I'm going to use one more log that is called SQL Server log and click on add. Clear? So SQL Server is used as one more log, provider. So, but here you have to implement which place I have to store my log. So I can use company database but the table will be created automatically when you choose the company database. Okay. So what table will be created? What are the columns and everything? We need not worry. So here you have to understand a note. Okay. What is the note you have to understand? So SSIS creates a log table in company database because company database we have chosen. This table is part of system tables. Okay. Now, various system tables in the company database because I had chosen company database here, it will be SSIS creates a log table in the company database. What are the columns and all that we cannot give, but this table is part of the system tables. Where is system table? When you go here and when you come here, you have tables. So these are your tables, but when you expand this, there is system tables. Okay, so there is a table here, and we have sys SSIS log. This is old one. Let me delete this. Okay, but you will be able to see one more new that kind of a table will be created now. Clear? So let me refresh. So nothing you have, but as part of the system tables, you're going to create one more. Automatically, one table will be created. That is the this table. Clear? So when you have one is that you have to choose minimum one log or two logs, but when you put more and more here, automatically the SQL server, the SSS package will be slowing down because it has to export the data and log each and everything. So implement one or two, that is more than sufficient. So one thing is Windows Event Viewer I had chosen for logging, and second one, I had chosen SQL Server, and company database will have my table. And when you go to the details, remember to check this and remember to check this. Otherwise, logging cannot happen. And go here. And when is that you need to have to you need to update your log? So on error or on post execute, like you have to choose some some kind of a event. So post execute means when the package is executed successfully or or failed, so it is going to give you some kind of a message, or so you can choose one or more events. So normally whenever the task fail or whenever the error occurs, or one more thing you can use on post execute, but remaining tools also you can use. But when you choose lots of events, then it will take lots of time to write the log because each and every event can be logged. So can be logged, but I don't want to log each and every event here. These are checked, or when you choose this and when you go here. So these are common. Remember this. Okay. So these are common for both. So click on OK. So how to implement a log? Go here and choose logging and check this and choose one thing and click on add and choose one more thing, click on add and check all of them. You can choose the database for the SQL Server, go to details and choose some events and click OK. So it is 2 minute job to implement logging. So this is ready-made logging you have to implement. That is step number 2. Clear? So once it is done, so event handlers also you can use to provide customized logging that we'll discuss later. Okay. So as a developer, you have implemented, 1 and 2. The only thing is that let me test each and everything. So how do we test this? So let me take this and it is happening perfectly fine. And let me delete the data and run this package once more. Okay. So deleted the data. So no more data is available here. Okay. No more data is available here. Now let me again save and execute the package. Now let us understand whether logins are creating or not. So data. So data is coming here. There is no issue with the data. Let us understand, did we get the login table or not? Let me go here, refresh this. And so, so sometimes when we delete the existing table, it is not going to create. This is no issue, but I don't know why. So you will have one, so let me do one thing. So it is did not give you the login table. So what I'll do, I'll take any other. So I have R bank, right? So let me create the login here so that I can show you. So Let me simply go here, and instead of choosing this connection, let me choose one more connection. And instead of this, what I'm trying to do, trying to give one more database name. So it is a known issue. When you delete the existing log file, it is not going to create. So R bank. So go there, go here. Okay. So let me execute. Okay. So the data is gone here. Now let me go to the SQL server, and the data is executed, and it has now duplicates data. Don't worry about it. So, but when I go to not iBank database, not company database, let me go to R bank. When you go to the tables and when you go to the system tables, now it is created. Okay. So this is where the logging is done. So when you take this and when you say select star from this, but it is not in the company database. Take this and you have to open new query window, and let us point to the R bank database and let me execute. So it is saying a package has started, and the name of the package is load employee data, and package is ended. So you can have beginning of the package, execution of the package, but no errors are there. So this is how you will come to know what is the start time, end time. So all of them you will be able to. So if somebody is asking how many times the package has executed or how many times the package has failed and what is the package name, whatever be the package name you have used, the same package name load employee data dot dtsx, when it is executed, everything will be listed. So like that, you can have this kind of a login. Okay. So now one more login I have to show you. You have to go to Windows logs, and when you go here, see there's a package executed. So package start, when you go here, you should be able to see which package, the package name also given, what is the time, blah, 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 everything you're able to find it here. Clear? Now let me clear the log. You can also clear the log if you want to keep the log, let it be there. So whenever you get errors messages or whenever you get any kind of an issues, either you can come here and check, or you can also go to the SQL server and you have to go. But how does uh, the DBA knows that the log will be created in some other database? That point you have to give in your deployment guide. So you have to say that the login facility can be given in this database, and database name also you can give, or let them also, choose the database names and all to tell them in the deployment guide. Now it is done. It is logging properly. Now we have to build and upload the code to VSDF. Now, how do I do this? Now go to the package. Now, when I go here and when you build, what is going to happen is that it is saying build is succeeded. So that means building means are there any syntax errors in the package? So when succeeded means there is no syntax errors, everything is perfectly fine. Now I have to, give this package. Now what is that I have to give now? So let us understand. We have to give this package, but along with the package, we have to give something else. So this package is available. So in D drive, I have a demos folder. Inside demos, this is the project just now created. And when you double click on this, and when you double click on this, when you go to the bin folder, when you go to the development folder, and you have to have a deployment file will be created. Okay. So this file you have to give it to your BSTF, or you have to give it to your production department people. So this file is going to contain your packages. Remember this. Okay. File simply .exe files. Okay. So ESPAC file is available in your drive, and go to your project path and bin the development folder. Okay. So I went to my project, which is there in demos, and I have to go to my project. I have to go to bin and development folder. This is what is called known as a ESPAC file. How do you know this is a ESPAC file? Right click on this, and when you go to the properties, and it is clearly saying ESPAC. Okay, this is some kind of a say. Okay, so many people what they say is that they'll say They'll give this as a, for example, the project name is some, this is PHP project, okay, and they underscore, they say setup. That's it. So is pack file would be what? A setup file. So this file you have to upload. So I don't have VSTF, so I have to simply copy this and I have to go to, so you think that I am uploading this to a VSTF. I don't have VSTF. You think that only you have to give, and this fellow is going to have your pack files. Now this package name is dot what? Load employee data dot DTSX. Okay. So how to install this? So once you double click on ispack file, so ispack file is this. So once you double click on the ispack file, automatically this load. Okay. Now this package can be installed in your C drive. Okay, in your C drive or D drive, whatever it is, or you can go to your production server and get completely is pack file. This is a database. So this is the deployment which is happening inside SSIS 2012 or 2014. Okay. So in this you have to, where you have to go to, you have to go to B. This database will not be there, and this database you have to create, and so that package would be coming here and sitting here. Okay. So this is what is called SQL Server deployment. So now you have to create the package. Now you have to, ispack file needs to be uploaded in the VSTF. I have done. And where is that ispack file will be available? It is available as part of your bin folder of your project. And inside you have to deploy, so that you have to understand. So once you keep the VSTF file and download all the files from VSTF to local server. So it could be a testing server or it could be a production server, wherever you want. These pack files also will have your packages. The packages you need not keep them separately, but if anybody wanted to have is pack file and packages also, see also. Okay, now go here. Now if they need package and copy this package, when you go to this element, I go to this server, and this server I download the package as it is in, and I say I create a folder and I'll say SSIS packages. Okay, available in the drive. So this kind of deployment is known as a file system deployment. So people would ask you deployment types. Okay, we get the package and keep it is known as a file system deployment. Okay, however, I am just copied. So I am keeping the package in C drive or D drive of my computer. This is what is known as a file system deployment. And one more deployment known as SQL Server deployment. Okay, so one more deployment is known as SQL Server deployment. So if you want to deploy to the SQL Server, so first you have to go to SQL Server and you have to create SSIS DB. This is not there, or if it is there, you need not create. Okay, our deployment. So I'm talking about here SQL Server 2012 or 2014 editions only. So before that, you have SQL Server, 2008 or 2000. We were having manifest files, and the deployment was happening in MS. SQL Server 2012 and 2014 onwards, the data, the SQL, the packages were deployed to the SSIS DBs, and prior to that, in other, so SQL Server 2008 R2, they were deploying your packages in MSDB database. Remember this. Okay, there is a variation. Okay, but SQL Server 2012 and 2014, the packages are getting deployed in SSIS DB. So I wanted to deploy my package to this, and I have to go to the SQL Server. Let me go here. And where is SSIS DB? So when you go to the integration services catalogs, and there is SSIS DB. So it will be there. Or if it is, let me delete this. Okay. So If it is not there, let me delete everything. Okay, now nothing is there. So you have to create SSIS DB by default if it is not there. Okay, so all these things who's supposed to do? These guys have to supposed to do. Okay, who's that guy? So download all the files from VSTF and create integration services catalogs in SQL Server. When you create a catalogs, it will automatically create SSIS DB. Okay, so deploy the package using ispack file, deploy to SQL Server or deploy to file system. Now to implement configurations for connection strings, blah, 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 schedule a package using SQL Server jobs. Now, as a DBA or as a tester, if they wanted to, deploy the package, they have to go to VSDF and get the package. Now, after getting the package, now you think that the package is now locally here. Okay, now they have to go to SQL Server and they have to go to integration services catalogs. Now right click on this, create a catalog. When you create a catalog, what's going to happen is that it's going to create SSIS DB. Okay, now it's going to create SSIS DB and we have to give some password and which is quite complex enough. And if you don't give password, and I am giving, test 123. You can give any password, a bit complex. You can give at the rate symbols and everything. I'm giving a password as test 123. Confirm password is also test 123 and click on OK. Right? So SSIS DB will be created. So where is SSIS DB? People may ask you. This part of catalogs. Okay. Now when you go here and here we have SSIS DB and I click on this, you can create a folder. So what is the purpose of a folder? This is for each and every project will have a folder. You may have, lots of projects in a single company. For example, I may be working for a banking project. Bank may have loan funds. Like that, you should be able to have some kind of a folder. You should be able to create. Okay. So inside that folder, you should be able to, deploy this package. Okay. That's what you have to do. So download it, create integration catalogs and server. So this will create SSIS DB. Now I have to deploy my package. Now in the environment in this. So I have to go to ispack file, double click on this. So ispack file will have my package, or you may have multiple packages also here, but all these packages are deployed to where now? So in SSIS 2012-2014, there is a database called SSIS DB, and here the package will get installed, and this is where the package will come. So now this is what is called my DTSX package. Now, if we have 10,000 packages also, all of them will come to this database only. Clear? So this is how we have to deploy. Now I am deploying this package to my SQL Server. Now let me go to this folder and let me double click on this. Now when I double click, it is giving you some wizard. Select source, select destination, review and results. Okay. Now it is saying select the integration service project that you want to deploy. So click next. Now, where is this? See, it is taking ispack file. When you see this, so I have kept in this path, which is there in the desktop. Now, this is where I have, this is my source file, ispack file I'm using, and click next. Okay. So, product deployment file I have taken, that's the ispack file only deployment file, simply a setup file. Click next. And the destination would be my SQL Server. Okay. The next one is this. So, click on this. Now server name, I have to choose my local server or you may give the name. And here where I have to go, it is asking SSIS DB. And if you don't create a folder, now there is an option to create a folder here. So click on. So now I'll say it is for the loan modules. So I can say loan or something like that. So the project name, folder name is loan. Click on OK. Now SSIS DB and loan is the folder. I want to deploy my package to loan. After that, it will create one more folder SSIS project. It is going to give it there and click next. So I'm going to take the package from this ispack file and the package will be part of this. The package name also, that the package will come there. So ispack file only for the installation only. Ispack file will have that. When you double click on this, the package will come to this destination. The destination server name you have to give, click next. And This is the command line, utility. You can use that if you wanted to. So command line. So let me copy paste. Let me explain this later. So this is my source file, and this is where the project comes. Click deploy. That's it. Okay. Now the package is getting deployed to where SQL Server SSIS DB. This kind of a deployment is known as close this SQL Server deployment. So deployment is quite easy. If they wanted to deploy the package in their different environments, they have to do like this only. They have to go to, okay. So they have to get ispac file and double click on this, and they have to give the server names tst SQL 009, and they have to go to SSISDB and create a folder, and that's it, the file. So ispac file will have a package or packages that will be installed in this folder, in this servers or in this servers. It is very simple. So this is how the deployment is done. So let me also go here and let me show you. Refresh, and when you go, and there's a loan and projects, and this is this one and packages, and this is what is your DTSX packages. Now this is what is the deployment. Now you're going to use this to create a package, okay? But afterwards, this is not at all important for you. Just simply close this. This is not at all important, but you need to give only ispac file. Using the ispac file, I'm able to load the package. But if you wanted to delete this, right click and delete. So everything will be deleted. Or if you want to delete this, you can right click and delete this. No, I think you should be able to delete entire project. Okay, should be able to delete. So this is how you have to deploy the package. Now, if you wanted to execute the package, now let me go here and let me show you whether it is able to execute everything perfectly or not. Let me delete all the data. I don't have any data here. Okay. Now let me go and right click on this. Let me execute. Okay. Now, so simply click on OK. Now, the operation. So it is going to give you some kind of a report when you say. So integration service dashboard report from the SSIS DB, blah, blah, blah. It is going to give some kind of a, would you like to open overview report now? Yes, some kind of report, success report is going to give you. Okay. So let me see the report also. And before that, so now it is giving you saying that whether it is successful or not, and everything is proper. It is going to give you some kind of information. This is package got executed successful, and this is the package name. This is the data flow task name. So this report is not at all important, but you can see the data here. So the data is reached. It's working fine. It is also you're getting the data into this databases, and this is the second time it is got, and everything is working fine. Okay, when you go here, it is also lots of logs are getting executed. Okay, so this is how the package been, deployed to the different production servers. But remember, once you deploy the package there, but I had given my SQL server only. My SQL server name is DVS SQL 002. But when you deploy, when you give your server names, it's not going to work. You have to change the server names. Connection strings you have to change. Okay. So for that, what we have to do is that we have to simply go to SQL Server and right click on this packages, and there's a configuration configure. So when you go here, and there is a connection managers, and here and all you have to deploy. Okay. The flat file I am having in this file. Okay. This is my D. But when I go to this environment, they may not have D at all. They have only the C. So they may keep the source file. So now my file is available in this. My file is available in this in my computer, but they may have this file available in C drive only. So if they have C drive, the file is available, then they have to change the path. So how they have to change the path? They have to come here, and they have to, sorry, they have to just go here, right click and configure and connection managers. This path may change in the, so go here, click on this, Now edit value, they have to give the new value. For example, they may have C and directly they may have, okay, so employee.txt. So instead of getting the file from this path, so they have changed it. So this is what they have to use and click on OK. So I'm not going to use that. Okay, my server name, my company database is where the destination database, but the server name is I am using, say, my server name is dot, but the server name it is not the dot. They have to use edit value. The server name they can say PRD SQL 001. That is new server name they have to give. Click on OK. So I'm not going to use that. So again, they have RBank to log the data. So the server name also, this database also, they may change. Okay, so all these things they can do it, or they may give the same database. So instead of our bank, they may use the company only. Here also they can change. So in the for them, the company database will have what log file. So, okay, so like that they should be able to change and click on OK. That's it. Okay, so this is how the configuration strings are changed. Now the package is deployed here, and you can also manually execute like this. But manually is nobody's going to execute. The last step they have to do is that they have to schedule the package using SQL Server jobs. Now, the scheduling means every 4 hours it has to run, every 3 hours it has to run. So, how the DBA is going to do? They have to just go here. Let me first remove everything. So, I don't have any data here. Okay. Now, how can we schedule? So, for scheduling, SQL Server agent must be on. So, you have to go to SQL Server and start this. So, are you sure you want to start? Yes. Okay, so to create a jobs, to create a schedules, you have to use SQL Server agent. Now, when you expand, there is a job. So job you have to use. So when you expand it, so lots of jobs are there. Right click and new job. Here we'll say call SSIS load EMP package. Okay. Now click on steps and click on new. And now you can say, so include the package is a step, okay? Or you can say get the package. This step number, step name. So type is that I have to use integration services package. Now, where is it available? It is available inside SSIS catalog, that is SSIS DB. Server name is dot. And when you go to the package, you will get lots of packages and you have to choose your package. Okay, the package you have just linked. Okay, get package. Now we have to go to integration services catalog and we have to choose this and choose this and choose. Now this is where I have to load the package. Then click on OK. Now you have included the package. Now you have to give the schedule. When is that the package has to be executed? It is daily, monthly, weekly, or every 1 hour. So how is that you wanted to execute? That schedule you have to give. Okay. So click on right. So we had included the package, but afterwards we have to give the schedules. Click on the schedules here. So click new and give every, so the schedule name is every day schedule, or I'm going to give you every 2 minute schedules because I cannot wait for next day to see. I'll say every 2 minutes it has to be executed. So it is a recurring and occurs daily and occurs every say 1 minute or 2 minutes. So starting from now, what now time is 9:27 p.m. So let me give some, 9 so 9 p.m. So sometimes, okay. So you have to give, lesser than this time, whatever the time you have, lesser than 1 minute also sufficient. So 9 p.m. I had given. So click on OK. So every 2 minutes, this package and click on OK. Now I had created a job. Okay. Now let us wait So what is going to happen is that every 2 minutes, the package will run. It has to load the data here. Now I don't have any data. Okay. So after 2 minutes now, 9:28 p.m. Now 9:30, it has to run. So now to see the jobs, there is a job activity monitor. So you can see whether these jobs, all the jobs are working perfectly or not. There is a monitor. So double click on this, and so if the job is getting failed, you will get red mark. So when you double click on this, this is your package. Now right click and you have to choose view history. Okay. Now this is where you will come to know whether this job is ran or not run. Okay. So let us wait for some more time. So to view whether your jobs are getting executed successfully or not, you have to go to job activity monitor, double click on this. You have to just go there and you right click on this view history. So nothing is executed. So let us wait for some time. And this is how you have to, execute your or schedule your packages or not. Are you clear? Okay. Now, as a DBA, so as a tester or as a DBA, if they wanted to deploy the package in their machines, you have to download the package from VSTF or create integration services catalogs in SQL Server. When you create catalogs, automatically SSIS DB will be created and deploy the package using each pack file, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is one way of deploying. Clear? So then implement the configuration for the connection strings, then you have to schedule the package. That's it. So these are the things you must use whenever you create a package. Are you clear? So these are the steps. Developer, you have to create a package, you have to implement logging, you have to give ispack file. So along with this ispack file, somebody or some people also will ask straight away the DTSX package. Okay, that is also you can give. So when you go here, so if you double click on this, you will get this kind of a wizard. Okay. But when you double click on this package, now the package will be like this. There is no control flow, data flow like this. You can also execute this package. Straight away, you can execute the package. So you can double click and execute the package from here also. Okay. So that is also fine. But or when it is available inside this, you can go to this and go here and right click and we can also execute package like this. Clear? So you have to be clear and how we can execute. Now let us see. It is done, I think. Let me go to the job activity monitor and double click on this. Now, sorry, it is right click on this and view history. Now one entry will be there. When you see it is click. So it is saying the job is succeeded. Okay. Now, when we go here, we should be able to see the data here. When you get the data, it is working fine. So another time, another 2 minutes also, we'll get one more time the data. So it is working fine. So you can also see the logs. When is it is executed? It is executed. The start time will be there. Okay, start time it is there. It is 32, I think. 30 it has got executed, 32. So every minute it is going to be executed. Now go to SQL Server and go to here and you can also refresh. Now it is twice executed. That's it. So like that. So if it is failing, you will get a red mark. So that means the job is failed at that time. So 30 and 32, like that, you should be able to see all these logs. So okay, if any job getting processed, when you can right click on this view history, it will tell you it is these many times it is failed. When you see the log, when you go here and there is an issue, you have to click on this and come down. You will be having some kind of an issue here. The issue you can also read this, or the issue you may also go to your logs and find out the issues. These are your log files. Clear? Because this is your log. The log is available in our bank. Clear? So this is how you have to deploy, and this is how you have to understand how you should be able to, create a package, deploy a package, and these are the things you must be able to understand. Clear? So thanks, guys.